On the air and so many things that they want to do and accomplish that, it's for them outgrown. So, and who knows? I mean, 6 seasons and a movie. I love that. But you all write it. You guys should write it. Yeah. So they had a plan, and it's interesting seeing each script unfold. I just got episode 4, and we just filmed episode 3. So it's seeing it unfold, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, woo, a lot of stuff is happening. I mean, I thought a lot of stuff was happening in the previous seasons, but think about it: 22 episodes, now 13, and wrap it up. So a lot of stuff happens, and I think, they've always, here's the thing about them, they've been so great about, David Greenwalt and Jim Kauf, I'm saying, they've been so great about really giving the fans what they want, that I think you guys will get exactly what you want, except for season 7. So yeah, they're planning on it.
Awesome. All right, so we got a question. Got a question right here. Hold on.
Hi, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it. I wanted to ask you how you felt about your whole character's evolution over the time that you've been on GRIMM, from day 1 till now. Everything you filmed so far. What do you think?
So from eating carpet to turning into a Neanderthal man. When they first, it's interesting, when they first pitched me this character, in the pilot, it was like nothing. Yeah, when they said, we'd like to write a role for you, but he's going to play this cop, and I said, well, there's not really evident in the pilot, so could you tell me more about what is going to happen to him, and blah, blah, blah. And in that instance, they said something about me eating dirt. And it was like, they were like, we're going to, there's going to be this storyline in the first year where you're going to end up like eating dirt for some reason, and then get whatever, and I ended up eating sofa cushions. But I couldn't be more pleased. I think it's kind of ties into the other question too, is that I couldn't be more pleased with kind of the slow burn that's happened with me. And I like digging into a character. If you ask any of these guys, they're like, oh, you're still working on your script? Because I really like digging in and kind of feeling what it feels like, and feeling very real, and all that kind of stuff, and blah, blah, actor stuff. But it's fun. Even the describing of the crime scenes was fun to me, because I was like, I'm a cop that has been a cop for probably around, 15 to 20 years. So, and it's interesting, cops come up to me and go, that's exactly how we would describe a crime scene. Because they're all very sarcastic, so it's like, that's exactly how we do it. So that was fun for me. And then now to get this and to get more, it's like icing on the cake, and like, again, the hints of Neander love. That could possibly happen, and I would love that, because it's dealing with this whole creature and dealing with that. How do I deal with that? How am I dealing with this now, with this thing going on now? I love it all. I mean, I could have described crime scenes for 5 seasons and I would have loved it. So to have this is really fantastic. And then beyond that, I think the elevation, again, for an actor of color to start to get roles that are, moving forward. John Cho is a buddy of mine. He's doing some great stuff. So, he's doing, I mean, he's really helped all of us kind of move forward. So, it's time, and I love that question, because it really helps me to express to you guys my gratitude for this whole show. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, our next question. We're good? Oh, there we go.
Hello?
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Not my first DragonCon, not my first con, been going to them since I was 9. So
Wow.
I just want to say, we fans just love it so much when you guys actually really enjoy us.
Oh, what are you talking about? What? People don't enjoy their fans? How can that be?
There are stories, let me tell you. Anyway,
We'll do that later.
on to my
Suddenly I
question.
hear, then the sarcasm came from y'all.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay, on to my question. Found out just a little while ago, only one half of one more season. So, what about the possibility of moving it to Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that movement started. Listen, we would love nothing more than that. And it's going to take you guys just tweeting it out or whatever. And a lot of shows have been saved that way. Community was saved that way. A lot of shows. Nashville was saved that way. It's interesting with social media because they finally get that it's you guys that make the show. So it's the audience that watches that makes the show. So I think, you know, I mean, who knows? And the great thing is it's still early on. You know, we're only on our fourth. It's not like, oh, they announced it, you know, later on down the road on our 13th episode. We're only filming 4 episodes in. We don't air till January 6th. So I know. I'll pull you all to the side and tell you all what happens in the first 4 episodes.
Well, you tell us.
I'll just
how we
reenact
can
it
help.
for you.
Okay. You tell us how we can help you guys stay on the air. And absolutely, Wu has been essential to the whole story.
Thank you so much.
Love him so much.
I've had a blast, and thank you for that. Tweet it out, you guys. Put it on Facebook, whatever. We'll retweet it for you.
Well, I think.
And then you retweet it for us, and we'll just keep going.
Well, I think it was the captain who, at some point, I saw like we're good. We're 6 seasons in a movie, and I was like, Cannon! I was all excited, and then I found out that was hope. But it's good hope, because we did get 6 seasons.
Yeah, I think the great thing is that, you know, especially with this show, a lot of procedurals, we still deem ourselves a procedural, but I think a lot of procedurals, you know, it does focus on the crime scene and what the scene is, and I think this particular show, it's been so character focused that people kind of see themselves in one character or another or whatever, and so they kind of, there's an affinity towards that. So I think that's kind of what drives it, is people see a little bit of themselves in every one of us, which I love, and I see myself in you guys.
Awesome.
There's that.
Come on. Oh my. I didn't realize how tall she was. I only ever have things happen like on
Funniest
DragonCon.
moment yet today.
Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Question.
Okay. Oh, honey, don't worry.
Aww. Sasha's gonna love you.
But since Wu found out, he basically has replaced. It was kind of pinnacle because, you know, he lost the Grimm books, and Wu kind of became like a walking Grimm book because he's so fascinated about finding out everything.
Yeah.
What do you think would have happened if they decided to never tell him?
Oh, man, I really do think he'd be his person that probably would have left the police force and then would have like come back and lurks around in the bushes going, something's going on, something's happening. There's that odd person that has suddenly gone crazy, and you'd probably see him as like a homeless in Portland. Like there's so many homeless in Portland. I could see that as a spin-off. There's gonna be homeless in Portland. What would have happened to Wu? He would have been homeless in Portland and just like stalked like the Grimm sets, or like stalked Nick and Hank and just gone, something's going on. I'm gonna figure it out. But yeah, I mean, I just think he's a smart guy. I think emotionally it hit him that there's something you're leaving me out of, you know. And he's always, and I think like any person, I grew up. I came from the Philippines. I came here, and I was just like, I just want to be. And I grew up in Ohio. So I was like, can I just be part of the crowd, you know? And it was so odd, kind of like growing up in that, and that's kind of how Wu felt. It's just like everyone's like part of like going to parties at Monroe and Rosalie's and like they toast to each other. I'm like, what's happening over there? Something's happening that you're not telling me, you know. So it was nice to like be told. But yeah, I think it takes me back to that scene where I was like, I'm just gonna leave, you know, and I would have left and been homeless and stalked them.
You wouldn't have been homeless. You would have been on forums trying to find.
Oh, very well said. Exactly.
That would be awesome to have like forum Wu.
That's what I mean. You guys can write this. I have to tell you that sometimes you guys tweet me stuff and like tweet me a storyline, and I'm like, oh yes. And then I actually like start to believe it's gonna happen, and then they write something completely different, and I'm like, wah, wah. It's horrible. You guys are so good at that.
Here we go. Next question.
Hi.
So I also grew up in a Filipino family, so like
Welcome.
thank you so much.
My kababayan.
Thank you so much for like bringing that to the show, because I remember like calling my mom after the episode and being like really excited, like, Mom, oh my God, guess what's like happening in Grimm right now. So I was just wondering, like, out of the like crazy Filipino folklore, of the ones that you like proposed to the show, which ones were they, and like which ones would you like to see or like to have seen on the show?
Everyone's talking about the three that I proposed were the aswang, the manananggal, and the duende. And the aswang is obviously the grossest one. I mean, it's just like so invasive. I don't know how many women could have watched that particular episode, but that I would have loved. Everyone saying the manananggal is actually a creature that is, manananggal means to take away. Tanggal means to take away. So that means it splits in half. So it splits in half, and one creature flies and the other one's on land, and then it comes back together. So that I would have loved to have seen. But I will say that when that episode aired, first of all, my own Filipino family did it. We had like a whole dining room full of Filipino food, and everyone came over and watched the episode. And then like I got so many tweets of like so many people around the United States and their dining room full of Filipino food, all the Filipino families. So it was so great, and I felt so happy to be Filipino at that particular time. So thanks for coming up here and asking that question. What's your name?
Kiara.
Kiara. Nice to meet you, Kiara.
It's also reminded me, all those Grimm fairy tales weren't happy.
No,
They
people
weren't.
told those to their kids.
And then they,
That's what we were wondering at first. We were like, someone
Yeah.
told us these fairy tales,
yeah,
lovely
Disney,
fairy tales.
You know, someone gets eaten in that gingerbread house.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Here's our last question for this panel only. All right.
Seeing as okay, the characters are intelligent, they're knowledgeable, so why haven't any of them figured out yet that since it involved the Crusades, that the sliver of wood that is healing everyone
Dude, really.
is from the true
Let me call the
cross?
showrunners on that one,
Please do. Please call them.
because it will figure very prominently in this season. I will tell you that, because it's like the keys. You know, the keys that were in season 1 and we came back to them. There's just so much going on with 8 characters that it's like, you know, it's almost like a soap in that way. It's like you go off and you venture off into these different tangents, and then something happens and it becomes really fascinating for them, and so they go that direction, and then they've forgotten about these things. But that is something essential. Jim Kaup is really wonderful in terms of like he was an English, I believe an English lit major, but he loves stories. He loves stories, and so he decided to delve into this idea of religion and what it all really meant. And so I think that has something to do with the whole sick thing, and it's gonna figure very prominently in this particular season, especially with one particular character. So, ooh, I think you meant
Ooh. Okay, so that's our last question, but leaving us on that cliffhanger for tomorrow, we will be having another panel tomorrow. It's around 5:30, if I'm 5 o'clock. If I'm correct, before 5:30, I don't know, somewhere in there. And you will be on the Walk of Fame at this point, correct?
I guess so.
I think so. Maybe? I don't know.
Just take me wherever. Yeah.
They're going to do that.
Yeah.
They'll take you somewhere. So I think he's on the Walk of Fame, and I do know there are still photo ops. So if you are interested in a photo op with Reggie, there is sign up over at the Marriott, the Middle Hotel Marriott. There we go.
Wait,
So
I
good.
just want to. I'm going to tweet this out because I want to tweet you guys out. So
everybody wait.
hold on. Okay. I love these guys. So just a big shout out, woohoo. awesome.